What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my next video. Now recently I have watched and finished Neon Genesis Evangelion, which is such a crazy show. You know, I went into it knowing that it was insane, right? Knowing that it was super depressing and like the ending was kind of confusing and just weird in general. So I watched it, right? And then I also watched the end of Evangelion, the movie. And for those wondering, for the last couple episodes, I watched the director's cut versions. I think it's the one on Netflix. So the like episodes like 22 or to 25 or something like that, are like a couple of minutes longer than the rest. So from some article I read, that means that I don't need to watch another movie like Death Squared or something. But yeah, I watched it, and I have some thoughts, but at the same time I have no thoughts on it. And I kinda liked it, but at the same time I hated it and didn't understand what was going on at all. So I really just don't know anything about what I should say here, but I'm still making this video. So originally I had a super long flight, right? This was like a month ago, or like a month or two ago, and I wanted to watch an anime on the plane. I was like, you know, it'd be fun if I just like sat there and just binged an entire anime. And originally I was going towards one anime, pretty sure it was called, what's it called? It's like the school anime slice of life thing. But I watched the first episode of it before I left just to see how it was. It was Seitokai. And I didn't like it. I thought it was way too horny, and it just wasn't for my taste. I just didn't find a lot of the jokes funny, so I didn't watch it. Instead, I steered towards Neon Genesis Evangelion, an anime that I have been wanting to watch for a while. So okay, I'll watch it. So I downloaded all 26 episodes. I went on the plane. I watched 2 of them, and then I got bored and I did not finish the rest. So yeah, I was planning on like binging it all, but then I ended up not doing it because it was boring. Anyways, flash forward a couple days, and I actually start watching it again. Start from episode 3, and I watched like an episode a day. It wasn't like a binge session. I don't think I've ever binged it. I watched like an episode, maybe 2 a day, until I finished it, and then the very next day I watched End of Evangelion. But first, let me say my thoughts on the original show. Okay, so the original show was weird and kind of boring at the beginning. So like the first 7 episodes was a very like villain of the week-esque. Like a new angel showed up. Go Shinji, fight. I don't want to fight, but you have to fight. Okay, I'm gonna fight. And then he fights and he beats it. And it just was that. I think throughout the entire show, the combat never really was an interesting part of it to me personally. I never enjoyed the combat scenes, and just especially looking and watching it, I noticed that it was pretty low budget. Like they used the same like shot, like just one frame that they hold out for like a minute, and like sometimes like more, and then they like reuse clips a lot. So that was, I don't think it hindered the show really that much. Like it wasn't like I really minded it at all. But the action scenes, yeah, they weren't too captivating for me personally. But yeah, so at first, you know, it was like alright. There were some moments here and there that I found like funny or entertaining. But for the main part, I was kind of bored. Then Asuka showed up. And I did not like her. I hated her to an extent, but I'm not saying that in a way to diss the show. Actually, I think she improved it. Even though I did hate her, she did add a sort of entertainment value or entertainment factor to the anime that it didn't have before, which I really liked. So even though I didn't like Asuka, I did like her presence in the show. I think episode 9 was a great episode. The episode where they had to like train to be in sync together. One of my favorite moments of it that I thought was really funny, when Asuka was like, bro, we can't do this, it's too hard, there's no way. And then Shinji and Rei go up and they're like in perfect sync, and it's like, I thought that was really funny. But yeah, so but I know everyone's like, oh, second half it gets a lot better, and it did, kind of. Not well, yeah, kind of. So second half it definitely got a lot more character focus, which is what a lot of people said. And it was interesting, seeing the show delve deeper into the character psyches, but at the same time, it just increased the confusion like tenfold. Like, okay, when I was first watching it, I had no idea what was going on. Like, I didn't know where the angels came from. I thought, like, they just kind of showed up, and we were supposed to, and they're like the enemies, which may be my fault, because, again, I watched the first 2 episodes on plane, and maybe I just wasn't really paying that much attention. Maybe they explained it. Anyways, I was so confused. Yeah, I think I even searched up where did the angels come from. I don't really remember getting an answer. So, and I don't think I like delved too deep because I didn't want to get spoiled. And speaking of spoilers, I actually did get spoiled to like a couple things. I've seen the like Asuka saying pathetic meme. I also saw the hospital scene, which those are both in the movie anyways. So yeah, but anyway, what was I saying? Oh yes, confusion. I didn't know where the angel came from. I didn't really know much about the Eva. They kept on referencing things, creating plot threads. I don't really remember them going anywhere with it, so just like keep doing things. And I honestly, I didn't even remember that one guy's death. I forgot who his name was, but the guy, that purple hair girl. I'm so sorry for forgetting names. Katsuragi, the guy that Katsuragi was dating. He died, and that kind of like, I didn't really process in my brain until they actually was like, oh my god, he died, and I'm like, oh yeah, he died. That happened. So last half, the confusion tenfold. There was like that one part where Ray was going on about like life and stuff, and there were like a bunch of revelations, right? But none of them meant anything to me. Like, it kind of just felt like things were happening for the sake of things happening. Like, I remember there's that one part where Shinji gets taken down to like the basement with the Katsuragi and the blonde lady, and like Katsuragi has like a gun pointed to her, and she like starts like screaming and crying later on, and then so we find out there's rays all around us, and I didn't know what any of it meant. I was like, okay, I just kind of accepted like this is happening. Ray's like a robot or something, I don't know. And then I never really got much more clarification from anything. The plot just kept moving. Seal and Nerve, those conflicts between them, I didn't really care much for. But like then again, there were also like bits and pieces from the episode that like Asuka and Ray, when all of them went like psycho, and well, not psycho, but like when we got like delved deeper in their brains, that was kind of interesting. But also at the same time, I don't know, like I some of the repetitive shots, like in Asuka when like the angel read her mind, or in Shinji when he had that like inner conflict, they reuse a lot of shots. But at first we're like, okay, then it's like, okay, can we like move on a little bit, please? And I get that it was like there's like some underlying themes and messages and symbolisms that came along with it, but maybe those just didn't personally get to me, so that kind of hindered my entertainment for it. But still, I don't know. If I had to rate the anime on a scale from 1 to 10, I honestly don't know what I'd give you. I might give you like a 4 out of 10, like, bro, it's so boring, I don't know. Or I might give you like a 8 out of 10, like, cause it's so deep and stuff. So, initially when I watched it, I just kind of like watched an episode every night, usually before I went to bed. And someone was like, oh, okay, they went there, okay. Also, another thing I need to mention, 24th, episode 2024, I think, that's the last episode. The guy showed up, and like, he obviously was into Shinji, and I'm not sure if Shinji was into him. Kind of seemed like Shinji just didn't have anyone that was affectionate towards him, so having someone that was meant a lot to him, but that dude was definitely gay. So he was cool, and then we find out that he's an angel, which is like, okay, that's a revelation. And then Shinji kills him, and it's just a big moment for everyone, and I'm like, I didn't really care about him that much. He was just like a generic nice dude, and it's like, I don't feel as much, I feel like I'm not as sad as I feel like I should be, And then we find out that he was the last angel, which I didn't even know that. I was like, oh, we were that close to exterminating all of them. Okay. So yeah, and then the last two episodes happened. And I actually kind of liked them. They were kind of a chore to sit through, just going back to back. But at the same time, looking back on it, it definitely, like, no matter what I say, right? No matter what it is, whether I say that I hated the series or I loved the series, there's one undeniable fact, which is that it did leave an imprint on me. It impacted me in some way. Look, I don't think I'll ever forget about it. It's a very unforgettable experience to watch it. And that's why a lot of people describe it as like a fever dream or something that they sat through. And I agree. It's like, it's crazy, and I applaud the people who made it. It's really, really crazy how they managed to, like, God, it was such a strange experience. I don't think I'll ever forget the show. I don't think I'll ever forget watching it. And that experience in itself made me not regret watching it. I think I do. Like, I don't regret seeing the show. Even watching all 26 episodes with me not really understanding anything, I still am happy with that I did decide to go all the way and not quit on episode 2 and just continue going. And I didn't even mention the movie. The movie was crazy. The hospital scene and everything. Do I think it was better than the last 2 episodes? 'Cause I think it was like a way to remedy for a lot of people who didn't like those. I don't know. I honestly think it was different in a lot of ways. And the seal attacking Nerve, right? It was a Nerve attacking seal. I don't know. I didn't really care much for that plot line, but the death scenes, like, oh my god, I didn't even mention this. One of my favorite parts of the movie was the line where I don't even know her character's name. She's like a minor character, or like not even minor, kind of more like side. But she was like telling Shinji that Asuka died, and her voice acting during that clip was some of the best I've ever seen. I was like, whoa, I need to go back, and I had to rewind and listen to that again because it was so good. Gosh, one of the highlights of the movie for sure. Just that one piece of dialogue was delivered amazingly. But anyways, that movie was, I watched in like 30-minute increments because I originally planned to like bang it out, but still I was like, you know what, maybe I should just take a step back after like 30 minutes, move some time along, watch it again, But the ending where everyone turned into like what, orange juice or whatever, was interesting to say the least. But yeah, definitely don't regret watching it. I talked for way longer than I thought it would. I thought this would be like a 5 or 6 minute video because I didn't think I had much to say, but I guess I did. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you haven't watched Neon Genesis Evangelion, despite all I said, I still do recommend watching, which is such a crazy thing. Because whenever I find an anime that I'm not really that invested into, I'm usually not like, yeah, you should watch it. But I still am I'm still telling you to watch it, which is just insane. That I don't know, like, that's crazy, But yeah, you should watch it if you haven't already. And even though I spoiled most of it, so there's no point saying that at all. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.